Hi, I'm Maddie, and I'm from Acton, Massachusetts. I'm a senior studying elementary education, and I'm also in the Accelerated Master's Program for Special Education. So I grew up in the Episcopalian church, but I didn't really have a personal relationship with God. I really just more went to church for the community. I definitely identified as believing in God and being a Christian, but I wouldn't say that it was my primary identity. I was just really drawn to how welcoming everyone was, and how immediately the first time that I was there, already multiple people knew who I was, and I was just drawn to that community and that welcoming nature. But just seeing how people could go through the toughest times in their lives and just say, I'm going to be okay because I have Jesus, or I'm going through this, but I'm praying about it and I feel confident that I'll be okay. It really just inspired me, and I wanted that. I wanted that ability to be okay in the midst of the craziness of the world. I discovered passions of mine that I didn't know I had. I've become extremely passionate about leading worship, and about leading Bible studies for other fellow college students, and I had never really experienced that beforehand. So I started college just lost and not knowing who I was, why I was here, what I was supposed to be doing with my life. But when I joined Chi Alpha and I experienced Jesus, I not only learned about who God is, who Jesus is, but I learned so much about myself. I now know that I'm a child of God, and that I'm here to spread the gospel. I know that I'm loved, and I did not know that beforehand.
Hi, my name is Kayla Barrett. I'm a third-year student at the University of Maine. I'm a student leader with Chi Alpha, and I'm a zoology major. And I was basically in a place in my life where I wasn't really ready to dive in full with God, kind of running in the opposite direction, ready to live the college life. Right around after student orientation time, welcome week, freshman year, I was just getting texts and news all about events that were going on campus with Chi Alpha. And it was still the type of thing that I wasn't fully ready to get to know or be a part of. I was kind of just dipping my feet in the water, hoping I could show up to tell my parents about it and then just be done with it all. And it took a couple weeks and months, but it all led up to fall retreat around October of 2019. I remember going with one of my good friends at the time, and we were both kind of showing up as we're just gonna see what happens. We're just gonna see if God has anything. Not really expecting much. I just felt so filled with the Holy Spirit, so much so that when the opportunity for baptism came up, it wasn't even a hesitation for me. I felt like God was finally calling me into a place of freedom, just not putting Him on pause anymore in my life and just feeling free in everything that I do.
When I decided to go to UVM and started as a student there, I became friends with a lot of people in my hall and in my dorm room, and got involved in kind of the partying scene at UVM. So when I got involved with Chi Alpha, I really found a good community of believers and friends that I could share my faith with. As a student, and especially as a woman, I feel like I was always encouraged to pursue leadership opportunities, and that was really valued in Chi Alpha. So opportunities to lead a life group and to lead worship were really important in my development as a student. I am now a director of worship at a local church, and as well as a ministry assistant to the discipleship pastor. And I really feel like I would not be able to do the job that I'm doing today without the experience that I had with Chi Alpha.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Shader. I am a staff member with Chi Alpha at the University of Maine. My journey with Chi Alpha started when I was a sophomore in college. I had transferred from a Christian school. I hadn't been a Christian for too long. And I knew that I needed community, but I was kind of running from it at the same time. And so it took me a while and many invitations to say yes to coming to Chi Alpha. But then they announced a missions trip to Haiti, and my whole heart was just captured. I felt so strongly like I needed to be on that trip. The trip really changed my whole life. During that time, my heart was broken for the students around me. I think I had been pretty apathetic up to that point about other people on campus. I just believed that other people didn't really care about God, and so I was doing my thing and they were doing their thing. But through my time in Haiti, I really just felt like, man, I have a treasure and other people need to know. And so that was the first time that I really felt called to ministry of some kind. And so I did my internship with Chi Alpha down south and then moved back up north to join the team at the University of Maine. And so I think that it's hard to imagine doing anything else with my life. The way that I get to love college students who are just like me, who maybe knew God, maybe didn't, but just were afraid to be known. We're afraid of intimacy. We're afraid of commitment, and calling them to a life that says like all of these things are available and just so much better than you can imagine. And so, yeah, God has changed my life, and He's really used Chi Alpha to do that.
Hi, my name is Joe Gavin, and I direct Chi Alpha Campus Ministries at the University of Vermont, and I also serve as the District Chi Alpha Director for Northern New England. I want to thank you for your support and your investment in Chi Alpha here in the district. I know I'm a bit biased, but I believe we have one of the most strategic and important mission fields in the world right in our backyard, the university campus. When you think about the future, when you think about who will be deciding our court cases and writing our laws, who will be leading our governments and businesses, who will be teaching in our schools, who will be raising our kids and grandkids, many of those people are students right now on our college campuses. Our universities are training and teaching and shaping the minds and futures of our young people. And that's where Chi Alpha comes in. You see, we want to reach students with the gospel, raise them up to be disciples of Jesus, and give them a vision for serving Christ with the whole of their lives for the rest of their lives. You just heard a small part of the stories of 4 young women who are deeply impacted by Chi Alpha as students on our university campuses. Not only did they give their lives to Christ, but they were trained and prepared to serve Christ and His kingdom in the marketplace, in the local church, and even on the mission field. We believe our future is on our university campuses, and we want to continue to prepare and train and raise up young men and women who will lead God's church going forward. So thank you for your generosity, your prayers, and support.